This is Alex Kilroy, and you're listening to the Nothing Shocking podcast.
Want to know what's going on in the world of music? Then tune in to the Nothing Shocking podcast, a non-genre based, all ages friendly rock and roll program. Join us weekly for interviews with all your favorite rock stars from the mainstream to the underground. You can find us at nothingshocking.libsyn.com or anywhere you download podcasts.
We're putting the band back together.
The numbers all go to 11.
I'm talking about bands that rock. Led Zeppelin. What about Sabbath? AC/DC. Motorhead.
Does that mean it's louder? Isn't it any louder?
Well, it's one louder, isn't it?
We're not worthy! We're not worthy!
Why don't you just make 10 louder and make 10 be the top number and make that a little louder?
These go to 11.
I get up off the ground and raise my head. Days like this, think I should be dead. One for Satan, two for me. Let's cheat the devil, it's fun, don't you agree?
Welcome to the Nothing Shocking podcast. I'm your co-host, Jeff Untied, and with me in Dogbowl Studio is
Coach Nez.
You can find the Nothing Shocking podcast on Libsyn or any podcatchers. Like our Facebook page or follow us on X at No Shock Pod.
You can also find the Nothing Shocking podcast on Rock Rage Radio every Sunday morning at 7 a.m. Central Time. Our sponsor is Big Strix Vinyl Records and Sports Cards, located in Rock Island, Illinois. New, vintage, and previously owned. You can find it at Big Strix. We would like to thank the Hong Kong Sleepover for allowing us to use their music for our intro and bumper ending. Tonight's guest is
Alex Kilroy.
Yeah, promoting his debut album, Break My Chains.
All right. He's really soulful blues rock and southern rock energy.
Yeah. Hey, let's get to the interview.
All right.
Good night. Alex, welcome to the Nothing Shocking podcast. I'd like to introduce you, my co-host, Jeff Untied.
Alex, thanks for joining us tonight.
Thank you so much for having me on your show.
Hey, we're excited to have you. So let's get right into it. This past May, You released your debut album, Break My Chains. Tell our listeners a little bit more about the creative songwriting approach of this new music.
Well, yes. Yeah, we released the album as the debut album, and I've been working on the songs for quite a bit. And so, yeah, I started a couple of years ago when I did International Blues Challenge. And that's when, it was required of me to play original music. I've been writing on and off. But when, really I got into a contest and they're like, you got to put some original music, it just like, it gave me a deadline.
Sure.
And a go to get it done. So I started writing, and then I wrote one of the songs with my fiance, and it's called Angel. It's also on the album. Yeah. It's our duet. And when we played it, people were like, "Wow, that's a great song." Well, the judges didn't like it very much. It was not exactly blues, but it was, rooted in blues music. It was not a traditional blues song, but people liked the song. So I'm like, maybe I write another one. So that's where I met my producer. My producer said, "Hey, how about we put a Trey Sesser?" And naturally, so how about we put an album out? I'm like, that's a great idea. So then I really got into like the writing, and I realized I had a lot of songs written over the years that I just finished. So we put together a bunch of songs with my management. We listened to a lot of them, and then we chose the best 11 out of the bunch, and we recorded the album.
Fantastic.
Yeah. I always like hearing stories like, what's the oldest song on the album that you were working on that you hadn't finished?
It's called My Heart Is Yours. And I wrote it in Nashville in probably 2019.
Okay.
I watched a movie, I think it was maybe Walk the Line, I think it was, with the story of Johnny Cash.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I picked up an acoustic guitar, and I went outside, and it was like a beautiful afternoon in Nashville, and I just sat down and I wrote it. And I remember sending it to my dad, and my father really loved that song. He's like, you got to record that one. So then it, for some reason, I just kept putting it away. And, everything happens for a reason at the right time. And I feel while I was writing songs, because now we're getting in the studio to release a new EP in September, I started writing more and more. And there's songs that haven't truly developed yet for this album, but now they are. So then we're like, okay, let's kind of put an EP out. So that's what we're working on right now.
Fantastic.
So, it's fun to go back and listen to some songs. You're like, well, actually, that's not bad.
Yeah.
Or you write like a chorus and then you have a verse from somewhere, and they're two separate songs and they don't have anything to do with each other, but then something clicks. Usually when I'm on a plane ride, I'm listening to my voice memos and I'm like, that works for that. Oh, that makes sense. Okay, we got a song.
Very good.
Sweet.
Well, Answer USA is my favorite track on Break My Chains. That song has a big sound, in your face sound. Is there any particular story behind that track? The guitar solo is absolutely epic. That song has a epic vibe to it. Talk a little bit more about it.
Yeah, thank you so much. So my dad was riding motorcycles at that time, and I'm like, what is a song that somebody want to put their helmet on and just get on a motorcycle and kind of create a soundtrack for that. So I grew up listening to AC/DC a lot, so that has that thing. So I was writing the music, and I didn't have a chorus or lyrics or anything. And as I said, my fiance, she's an incredible songwriter. And she's like, do you mind if you give me the song real quick? Like, just export it, just the audio, and I'm going to go in my room. And she came back with the lyric and the chorus. So it was a co-write. And I'm like, wow, that just works perfectly. So it was easy. She made it very easy on me.
It's very good.
Oh, yeah. Well, I believe Let the Good Times Roll features Vince Gill on guitar. Can you talk about that collaboration?
Oh, that was an incredible chain of events for that to happen. Like, I met Vince Gill in Nashville. I was playing guitar, a side band for a country band, and we were rehearsing at a place called Soundcheck, which is a pretty popular rehearsing space for like popular artists like Keith Urban rehearses there, Brad Paisley. Of course, Vince Gill was rehearsing.
Yeah.
So we met in the parking lot. And because I was setting my guitar and the drummer came in, it's like, Vince Gill is in the parking lot. And this happened in 2020 or 2021. It was right after the pandemic. It's like Vince Gill is in the parking lot, just, waiting for somebody. I'm like, what? Vince Gill? I just ran outside. I didn't know what I'm going to say. But I just said, hey, I'm Alex Kilroy from Transylvania. Man, I grew up with your music and it was so sweet, so nice. He's like, oh, that's what a great story. He's like, let me introduce you to my wife, Amy Grant. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Then they're like, what are you doing tomorrow? I'm like, nothing special. But like, you want to come to our rehearsal? They were doing the Christmas rehearsal for the Ryman. And I was like, I was floored. I said, man, what an incredible gift, So I said, yeah, I'll be there. So the next day I went to the back to Soundcheck, and they're rehearsing, and I spent the whole day with them. I saw the whole show. We had lunch together. He was very, very, very awesome. So in time, we realized we have a common friend, Tabitha Fair, who was my vocal coach. He sang with Amy Grant, and it's a small world. You start to know everybody. He's bass player. I was playing with was also on one of my tracks. So Mike Bringadello from Giant, he was playing with Amy Grant. Now he was playing with him. So we were just recording in the studio. So it's a small world. And then we got to exchange phone numbers that way. And the day I moved out of Nashville, we had breakfast together with my fiance and I and Vince. And it's like, yeah, man, don't be a stranger. I'll give you a call. We'll be in. We'll stay connected. So one day while I was writing this album, he gives me a call. He's like, so how is it going with everything? I'm like, man, I'm writing an album. I'm doing this. I'm really excited. So I'm like, since I got you on the phone, crazy ass, would you play guitar solo on one of my songs? And he said, sure, just send me the tracks. And we did. And that was that. So sometimes it's asking and shall receive. It's great.
Oh, that is amazing. So wanted to get on a little bit more on the technology side with you here. Is, with modern technology, for recording new music, you don't have to be in a proper studio. You can do it out of your home or somewhere else. I guess the options are endless. But for Break My Chains, where were you able to record the album at? Did you get into a proper studio? Did you do it from home? How did it work out for you?
So great question. for Break My Chains, we went old school. We said, let's go, in a studio with the band, cut the tracks live, because I wanted that sound. Tubes, Neve boards, that's what we wanted. We found a studio here in Oviedo called Studio Live USA, and they've been in the market for a long time. And my management knew the guy, David, who's the engineer there. We toured the studio. We liked it. It's a very interesting studio. It just has 2 rooms, a control room and the main room. There's no isolation booths. So you all play together. That's what it is. So we did it old school where we played together and then we overdub what we need to overdub. But that was pretty much how the album went. So that's why my band and we got into rehearsal, and we rehearsed for about 6 weeks before we got into the studio so we can play the songs, actually. So that's how we did it. Then we had Joe Costa from Nashville mix the material, and then Ted Jensen from Sterling Sound mastered it. Yeah. And we're grateful for having, Joe being such an incredible mixing engineer. Of course, Ted is a legendary mastering engineer. Very happy to have him.
With the question you just answered, do you have a preference now? Do you like or prefer doing the proper studio stuff, or do you like the accessibility of being able to do it in your own home? I guess where do you stand right now as far as preference goes recording your music?
So, I like to record the demos because now we're working on this EP and I'm recording demos at my house because I have, of course I don't have drums, but I have all the plugins. I create drums in a box, right? I play key drums and then I play the bass and the keys because I like to produce my song that way. Then I send it to my producer and we send it back and forth that way. So it's very malleable. Like we can create the song very easily by working at home. Mm-hmm. And when we go to cut the songs, we go in the studio because I like to let the really pros. I'm not that good at working my pro tools. Yeah. So and it's a fun hobby, but I gotta write songs and practice guitar. And if I get into learn how to record myself too. But in today's world, like you're saying, yes, there's a lot of positive things from recording at home. It gives you a lot of flexibility. You can come up with parts. It gives you the time. That's one thing I liked about taking your time and recording at home, the demos, because I can come with all these parts instead of I did a couple of Nashville sessions. The artist would come, sing the song with an acoustic guitar, and then everybody goes and plays the song in 10 minutes. You got to come up with a part. You got to come up with something. And I feel like sometimes that makes everything sound the same. Because you don't have time to I compared music to making food. Yeah. So when you're making a sauce, if you're making a fast food microwave, it's not the same as if you take your time. If the brisket stays in that smoker for 48 hours, it's got to be a different depth, a different taste. So that's how I like to approach music. It's let it simmer,
Oh, fantastic! Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We've talked to several artists where they talk about Nashville, and it's you don't have time. You don't get time to make that thing simmer.
Yeah, and they're incredible musicians. The things they come up with. I mean, the A-listers like Brad Mason and so on, Mike Greenadello, and they go Joe Spivey. I got to work with him from the Time Jumpers. Incredible. They go in there and they it's incredible. But I'm saying in songwriting, and when you want to create parts and produce and come up with something interesting, sometimes in the studio you don't have that luxury when you do it fast. Yeah. So recording at home gives me that ability to hear what's going on. And before, and then my band is, I'm also very grateful to play with this band. They're called Own One Band. I met them here in Florida, Orlando. And they're so talented, and I show them the tapes, and then we take it from there. And sometimes they come with ideas that I wouldn't think of. That's why I like to play with musicians that are very, very good, and let them come up with their own parts and see what they feel. They might show you a different perspective that you didn't have before. So I love to let my musicians shine and bring their contribution to the art.
Fantastic!
Yeah, that's awesome. So I guess let's talk a little bit about your gear on the album. Do you have one favorite guitar that you use throughout, or did you have multiple guitars? How did it work?
It's multiple guitars, and it was a bunch of Fender Stratocasters, about 4 of them, and 2 Les Pauls. That's what happened. And then a weird guitar, a Line 6 guitar that can sound like a sitar. So for visions of the past, when we're like, I'm like, where are we going to get a sitar? So this Line 6 guitar had that. I'm like, you know what? Let's just go for it. Let's see what happens. I mean, I played acoustic guitar on that song going through a Marshall. So we tried all kinds of things. In terms of amplifiers, I had this, being my debut album, I said, okay, it's time for me to crank it up. And I had access. I have 3 amplifiers that I'm rocking with. It's a Super Reverb, a deluxe reverb from 1971, one of those old ones. The Super Reverb is a 2005, so it's not a vintage, but it's not new either. So it's somewhere in between. It sounds great. And then a deluxe, a Hot Rod Deluxe. So those were mine. When I got into the studio, he had some Marshalls. He had a Fender Concert. I don't even know what that is exactly. I think that somebody put it together. I've never seen it before, but he had a 15. It's almost like a Vibrolux with a 15 inch speaker. So I said, why not put 7 amplifiers at the same time and crank it all up and get this massive tone. And we did get a massive tone in the room, but what was coming out of the speakers was a mess. So it was because when I got 2 miking all these amplifiers, when I got 2 of them to be in phase, the other one was out of phase. Then move it forward, move it back. Like it took us half a day to just get that monstrosity of amplifiers. And my engineer was getting fed up with me. He's like, I don't know, kid, I don't know what you want. I'm like, it doesn't sound like it's like, I don't know, man. It was like, at this point we have 8 microphones. I don't know. You got to stop. So I'm like, why? This is not working. Why is, and then I went, you see, this is where AI comes in handy. And it's funny because my producer and I, we got frustrated because we played a guitar solo and the guitar was sounding terrible. I'm like, how can we make a guitar album when the guitar sounds so bad? Like this, it's not going to happen. So we went home, we were frustrated, and we didn't talk to each other, but we were sending messages to each other at 1 a.m. with the same things. We were researching how to mic an amp. I mean, like the engineer knew what he was doing, but we're like fighting with him. Anyway, so we said, okay, I went online and I love Stevie Ray Vaughan, Texas Flood. I'm like, that guitar sounds incredible. How did they mic that? Well, he had a Marshall on the right and a Fender on the left, and 2 microphones, a 421 and an SM57 and a ribbon on the other one and another 57. I'm like, okay, and at 45 degrees to the cone so you don't get too brittle. I read all that on ChatGPT. The next day I went in the studio, tried exactly that. They had a Plex seat, some sort of a Marshall on the right to give me that very clean head room, And on the left I put the Super Reverb. I cranked it up, give me a little bit of the dirt reverb, and we mic'd it that way. And then that was it. That was magic. It just happened. So then we just started playing guitar all day. It was perfect. What a beautiful day, because I finally got that round tone that I was looking for.
Oh, that is so cool.
So, I learned something,
Yeah. With Break My Chains being released this past mid-May, how busy have you been this summer supporting it with live shows? Are you going to do any touring the rest of this 2026, or what does 2027 look like for you as far as live shows go?
So, since I'm a new artist, I haven't been extremely busy. I wish we were more busy, but we went to Nashville. And we played at Tootsie's. We did a whiskey jam. We played another club, Papa Turney's, which is a blues juke joint. And then we played another show. The Underdog. And we did 4 shows in a row in Nashville, and it was a great feedback from the people. The Whiskey Jam, the guy who's putting the Whiskey Jam together, he loved the band, and he made a very nice post about us being I was very grateful, he did that. He posted a video with one of the songs, and he said, man, without a doubt, this is the tightest, best band that ever walked into Whiskey Jam, and it was incredible. Support for us, and since that video went a little viral, like around 30,000 people saw it, and a lot of country artists started following me. We gained 400 or 500 followers from that gig, which is awesome. That's why I love playing live. There's a lot of things, now with the internet. It's like, well, you got to do marketing and you can buy followers. I'm like, why buy followers when all it matters is to go play for the people and they'll follow you and they're real people and they'll buy the shirt and they'll buy the CD and they want to be your friend and you shake their hand and talk. It's a human connection instead of something artificial. There's a lot of artificial stuff on the internet that I don't agree with. But what we're doing right now, we also have my father-in-law open a little club here in Florida. It's called the Blue Goat.
Okay.
So he turned a warehouse, where his company, where his employees used to work, that kind of got vacant, and he has a bunch of classic cars. So we were rehearsing one night there, and he was like, "What if we put a stage and some lights?" And before you know it, now we have a blues club. So we are playing there on the 24th of July. We're doing a blues night, with Albert King, Cutts, Freddie King, so on, B.B. King, all the Kings, Stevie Ray Vaughan, bunch of originals. So we're doing a blues night on the 24th. Then we're going to Philadelphia on the 31st. No, the 30th. We're playing in Philadelphia at Jamie's House of Music. And then it's pretty open. What we're looking for right now is to get a booking agent to get us on the road. It's not very easy, but one day at a time.
Very good.
Yeah. Have you had a chance to look into any blues societies or any kind of summer blues festivals?
No, I haven't. I know that my manager was talking about that and trying to, because I did the International Blues Challenge a couple of times, but that was in Nashville and I had great relationships with them, but not in Florida yet. So, and a lot of the things nowadays, we send a lot of emails to all kinds of clubs and it's like, hey, yes, we're doing tribute bands only. Okay. So it's a lot of, Florida it's a lot of tribute bands. So if people want, I understand. It's a business. They want to sell booze. It's better if they know it's a Beatles tribute band. So people will show up because they love the Beatles. So.
Well, I do have an idea for you. We in our area up here in the Quad Cities along the Mississippi River, we have this association called the River Music Experience, and it's very blues based. I suggest you check those guys out. To come up here and play some shows at the River Music Experience. They'd love to have you.
We would love to.
Yeah,
we would love to. So yes, I would definitely get in touch with them and send them the album and see what comes out of that.
Yeah.
I'd love to come and meet you guys. That would be great.
I would after this interview, I'll text you the information. How's that sound?
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. Well, let's get back into the Q&A here. So, so in this modern age of releasing new music, we see so many artists releasing singles at a time opposed to releasing, full-length albums, and if they do, release an album, it's usually an EP, but it seems like the full-length album thing is kind of a thing of the past. But, I guess what steered you into making a full-length album opposed to releasing, a single at a time every couple months?
I think is that I like things done old school, where you take an album and you tell a story. That's why I like Quentin Tarantino, when I go into movies. It's like doing things the old school way and tell a story. And it's just because I like it that way. I don't know if it's, I didn't think, and I also love Rick Rubin. So, those people influencing me is do what makes you happy, and the audience will come if they want to listen to it. People that like your stuff will show up when they show up. In terms of marketing, yes, I know a lot of people do, and maybe that's why we're putting an EP now to follow up and see how that does, and try that marketing approach. I just like to record music and I let the management do their thing.
Absolutely. Yeah. Go ahead, Jeff.
Well, I know on your website you had some live videos of you playing live at the Crossroads. For this new album, Break My Chains, have you started or done any promotional type video?
We started working on a music video.
Yeah.
And that music video is taking a little longer than we thought it's going to, but we're still working on it, and we're gonna have to get more footage. But we had a lot of fun filming already. And in terms of promoting the songs, it's just like playing the songs live, and then we grab some snippets of it and post it on my Instagram, which is started to grow. So and TikTok too. Now it's funny how many followers you like. Sometimes I practice and people love to watch other people like just practicing. So then I'll prop my phone, go live, and say, "Hey guys, I'm practicing some skills," and people are just sitting and watching me practice guitar. But it does something. The TikTok algorithm, it puts your stuff more and more in front of more people, and they start following.
Well,
absolutely, I should be posting more. I'm getting the hang of it.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Okay, so this is a big question. This is a very long question, so please forgive me. But the beauty of Breaking the Chains was the various degrees of blues music in this album. Some tracks are a little bit more traditional blues, others modern, and then some almost give you kind of like a jazz infused feel to it. So can you talk a little bit more about the sonic diversity of this album and of all the different type of genres within the blues genre that you've added to this album, because it's very eclectic.
It is eclectic, and when we're listening to the songs, I'm writing them, and like my musical background starts with classical music, then it goes straight into blues music, and then it opens up into Eric Clapton, and then it goes all the way to Bruno Mars and to all the things that inspired me, and even gospel music, R&B, jazz, of course. So Sting. So when growing up, I listened to a lot of Sting. So a lot of the songs, they don't have to be. They're not in the same. They're eclectic. They're kind of all over the place. But one thing that brings them together is the artist. They all stream from the same source, which is me. And I was very fortunate to have a producer and a management team. They appreciate that, and they're like, okay, we can let's go with that, and I feel like I cannot fit in one genre really, but I'm definitely a blues artist at heart, and then I like to explore where can we go with it. It's like a tree. It's like where it is. We know the roots, so where can we go and just have fun with it. Like I feel like music, it's exploration, and it's very nice to do. For me, it's very fun to do that.
With some of the tracks having a little bit more of a jazz feel to it, could you ever see yourself crossing over into the genre of jazz and creating an album or jazz singles as far as that goes?
Maybe. I do love jazz, but I'm far away from being a jazz musician. I understand and I appreciate it. But yeah, anything is possible in the future. This EP that's coming out, that we're working on, it definitely goes back to the roots, and it goes way more bluesy than everything than the album. So we're sticking to the blues with this next one, and I think Intermezzo is the name of the second album, and I already started working on it, and that definitely has a lot of jazz influences. And it's funny when I send it to my producer and my manager, it's like, okay, there goes Kilroy again, like going coloring outside of the box really a lot, So, but that's the beauty of working with respect to my producer. It's like, okay, you can go there if you want to, but you really want to go there, or we can sit here closer to the house. I'm like, yeah, we can do that. So, it's like a tennis game between him and I until we get the songs. I'm very grateful that I finally found a producer that I can bounce ideas on and off, and songs just gets created. But yes, I love jazz, so why not?
Fantastic.
Why not try something like that in the future?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, I know you've had quite the journey to come from Romania to end up in Florida. Eventually, you've talked about Nashville and stuff like that. I believe you also had a stint and played in some of the Chicago blues clubs. Can you talk a little bit about that experience?
Yes, that experience came right after the Voice. So I did a Voice in Romania to go to Berkeley. Yeah. I was accepted at Berkeley College of Music, and I got half a scholarship. And then I needed to get some money fast somehow. That's why I went to the Voice. I was a finalist. I didn't win. so I couldn't go. I was very disappointed and very sad during that time. So I called my teacher, my guitar teacher at Berkeley, and he gave me the idea. He said, "Man, if you want to play the blues, just go out there and play the blues. You don't need to go to Berkeley. Like, there's not a gatekeeper. Go and go do the thing. Go learn from the people. Go where the best musicians are in the world." And I'm like, well, I grew up listening to Buddy Guy. I know he has a club, Buddy Guy's Legends. That's in Chicago. So while I was in Bucharest, it was like very late at night. So I went online and I found Mark Maddox, who's the talent buyer for Buddy Guys. I found his phone number. I called and I pretended to be my manager so I can talk myself up.
Yeah.
I didn't have a manager at that time, but I'm like, "Hey, my name is John Smith, and I just want to tell you, man, Alex just did the voice, turned the chairs, great, blues, this." So, he bought it. I sent the videos, and I told him I'm on a U.S. tour, which I wasn't, but I said I would love to play at Buddy Guys, and he said, "August 18, can we do that?" I said, "Sure. Yeah, that's it. Let's book it." So that's how I got myself at playing at Buddy Guys, and then I called my teacher at Berkeley, and because I didn't know anybody in Chicago, so he put me in contact with some amazing musicians there. I sent him the songs. I jumped on a plane and I made it to Chicago. We went rehearsed, and then I started playing at Buddy Guys. Played the first show. It was incredible, and what a beautiful atmosphere. And it was my first time really playing in America, and it was a big deal. And after that, I just started playing at all the jams around Chicago: Halstead, Kingston Mines, the Blues, Rose's Lounge, and met some incredible musicians. And I really fell in love with Chicago, and I really want to go back there to play at some point. But I kind of got diverted because then I went back to Romania to apply for my artist visa and all that. When I got it, I moved to Philadelphia. We had very good friends there. And then my plan was to go back to Chicago, but I met somebody who's like, "How about you try Nashville first? Just go try Nashville." And I went to Nashville, and I stayed there for 6 years. So, just go with the flow.
Yeah. Yeah. I have one last question for you. I don't know if Jeff does or not, but this is my last question. So I wanted to bring this back to Break My Chains. As the recording of the album was finished, how hard was it for you to step away and stop tinkering with the songs and say, "Okay, I'm done. No more messing around. This is it. I'm done." And on the flip side, on a satisfaction level, how satisfied were you with the finished product of it all?
So this takes me back to the creative art book that I read by Rick Rubin, which really helped me a lot. I used to be, like you're saying, never enough. It's never good. Perfectionist, and don't put it out. Let's delete it all and do it all over again. Kind of like that. Mm-hmm. So when I read Rick Rubin says that's how an artist gets in front of himself, and you do more bad than good. So, and also it took the pressure off. I took the pressure off myself, and I said, "This is what I'm doing here authentically. It's a snapshot of time and space. This is how I was playing at this age, in this moment. This is what I felt. I just need to be truthful to the notes I'm playing, to what I'm feeling. And I cannot do more than that. I cannot be better. I gotta be authentic. Do the best I can. Don't, not be perfectionist and not care. But what you got is what you got. And that's that. And then when I walked away from it and I listened to it, I'm very happy with it. And it really, it was like a curse that I broke the chains, so now I'm just having a lot of fun recording because it's like, this is how I'm sounding live. And that's how it will it get better in time? We don't know. We'll see, keep practicing. You'll get there one day, but we'll see but as in terms of recording, I'm very happy with what we got and how we got it. And that's my approach to recording.
Very good. Jeff, do you have anything else?
Well, I guess all I had was I know you're a big Stevie Ray Vaughan fan, and you've fronted a Stevie Ray Vaughan tribute band in the past and stuff like that. What's your favorite go-to song to play by Stevie Ray?
Well, lately it's been Lenny because I left it. I haven't played it since I was a kid. Those are the first three songs I learned by Stevie. and I haven't touched Lenny in a very long time. And for one of the shows, I just somebody gifted me. They just gave me a Fender that have a whammy bar, because I didn't have a Fender that had a working whammy bar, because I have all of my whammy bars are like they're tight all the way, so you cannot really use it.
Right.
So I got this guitar that has a floating bridge and it doesn't go out of tune. So when you use it, so I'm like, wow, I can play Lenny again. So I got back into that, and what a beautiful song.
Oh, so cool.
And of course, every time, and Pride and Joy, man, that's the one. People love that song. When we kick into that song, the world's a better place.
Awesome.
It is. Well, we're out of our allotted time for the evening. Is there anything that we left off tonight that you would like to plug or promote?
No, I think that's just follow me on Instagram. It really helps at Alex Kilroy Official, and we'll stay in touch.
Absolutely. Well, this is how things are going to work out when Jeff over here, he's the editing ninja over here. He'll get everything cleaned up, and it'll sound like $1 million. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
You. Have a great night.
You too. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye.
Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Everybody grinds the stone and makes their own mistakes. Hide in the headlights, fight the grip of fear. You can make your dreams come true, but you just can't do it here. Everybody bites their tongue and pays their bills instead.